Thank you for waking up with Happy Ass, where we come together to grow in mind, body, and spirit so we can in turn go out and make the world a brighter and sweeter place to live for ourselves and for others. And we are starting today. I am so excited because I've got Dan here with me, but I also asked him earlier, I said, okay, do you drink that other product or you drink Pepsi? He said, well, neither, but I drink Dr. Pepper. That is Pepsi. So good answer. Good answer. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, my number one sponsor, Buffalo Rock Pepsi, for making this broadcast possible. And we'll talk about some of my other sweet people, like the people that make me cute today, like Can't Hide Pretty, Cute and Palm, Hugh Salon, and Minutes and Miles for all my cute little chicken legs. So super excited. So Dan.
Yes.
Okay. The key today is I'm like freaking out because we kind of met yesterday because I was so excited about something you've done.
Yeah.
That's why you're here.
Mm-hmm.
You walk on fire. I mean, like, really, like, that freaks me out. Okay, I'm going to start there.
Okay.
I'm going to start there.
Yeah.
How the heck did that happen? What made you think you could do it? And how in the world did you get there?
Yeah,
what in the world?
So it was at a Tony Robbins event called Unleash the Power Within. Usually, if I say UPW, that's what I mean. And it's this kind of 4-day introductory event. If you've never been to a Tony Robbins thing, that's one of those events that you want to go to. And I've been wanting to go for years. I knew they did the Walk on Fire, but all the other stuff that they do throughout the whole weekend is what I wanted to get to. But with the Walking on Fire, for me, it was kind of one of those things where I'm like, I need to know that I can do it. You know, it was the outcome that I was looking for, is to say that whatever he needs to teach me or whatever I need to change in order to be the type of person that can do it, that's what I really wanted. That was my outcome. And I got it. You know, when they're training you, getting you ready, they show you a bunch of videos and other people that have done it, and they show you a video of like Oprah doing it. I'm like, well, if Oprah can do it, I can do it.
That is crazy to me.
Yeah.
You know, I shared with you yesterday when you told me about that, I thought, you know, I don't know that I can do that. And I feel like kind of a hypocrite because I espouse to everybody how awesome I am at mindset. Because I am. I'm really good at mindset. But you and I talked about it yesterday. You said that you were good at mindset, but you realized there was a whole lot more you could do.
Yes.
There was a whole lot untapped stuff. And what made you start doing the Tony Robbins and stuff? And I know you got a coach, and we're going to talk about that because that's what this is about.
Yeah.
You edit videos, and you started a whole new career in 2020, which still blows my mind.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for you
Thanks.
because I love it when people are doing something that they love and they're good at, but then they do something even better. And that's what you did. It just freaks me out, and it should give everyone hope. So tell me what led you to the Tony Robbins and stuff, coach, all that stuff. What made you do that?
Well, it was just kind of random. I think 2017, 2018, he came out with a documentary on Netflix called I Am Not Your Guru, which I strongly suggest if anyone's curious, just watch that documentary.
I'm watching it tonight.
Or at the very least, watch the first 15 minutes. And because within the first 15 minutes, I was hooked, watched the whole thing. And so that kind of introduced me to him and what he does and the results he can get for people and what his events are like. And, you know, from there was a moment in my life where I was really, I wouldn't say depressed, but it was a very frustrating day. And I thought, okay, maybe Tony Robbins has something for me. So I went to his website, and he has this program called Time of Your Life, which is like goal setting, time management. So I bought it. It was a fantastic program, and that got me on their email list. And from the email list, you know, eventually I went to Business Mastery, which is another event he does. And part of that, I got 6 free coaching sessions. And that was 2019, and I have been with my coach. Her name is Ottilia Kiss. I've been with her since 2019. So what, 6-7 years now?
That's amazing.
We've talked almost every week, and it's been absolutely wonderful.
I know the absolute power of a coach because I had a fitness coach for 3 years. And like I have already said, she kind of fired me about a little over a month ago. And not because she just felt like I didn't need her anymore. You know, like I'd reached my goals and stayed there and stuff like that. And I'm kind of sad about it. And I am going to get a coach. I'm going to get a results coach, just like we talked about.
Yeah.
it's hard to do, but it's going to be harder not to do, because when you know the power of someone else leading you and coaching you, and because we have blind spots.
Oh, absolutely.
And we can't see our own blind. It's like that. My car that has the blind. I will never be without a car that does not have a blind spot indicator.
Sure. Yep.
Sorry, not happening. I'm not that good a driver. So we have blind spot indicators. Well, we don't have blind spot indicators by ourselves.
Right.
We need help.
Yes.
We absolutely need help there.
Yeah.
So you said that you were kind of, because your life was pretty good. You had a good job. You have a delightful, precious wife. You have a nice place to live. So what in the world do you think made you restless and want something more? Or why you were depressed? Or not, but just a little restless. What do you think that was about?
Well, I mean, way back in the day when I had that very frustrating day, I felt like I had too many irons in the fire. I couldn't manage it all. I was just like, I didn't know what to do and when to do it. And I was scared to take action. It was a whole bunch of stuff. And so I focused on, just something that I could do. And it happened to be like, well, if I'm better at organizing my time, maybe something more will come of that. And that's eventually what happened. I just went to Date with Destiny, which is Tony's, it's his baby. It's his program that he's been doing forever. The documentary.
That's what I want to do, is the Date with Destiny.
Yeah. And so the documentary kind of covers one of those events, and you follow a couple people through that event. So I've been wanting to do it for years because of the documentary, and this year was the time, because for me, I've improved my life a whole bunch, but I still felt a little aimless. Like I didn't have a deep purpose or mission statement that I really truly believed in. And I talked to my coach, and she's like, well, if you go to Date with Destiny, that's what you're going to work on. I'm like, here's my money.
Yeah.
Like, give me a ticket. And I went, and it was wonderful. And so, I think every program that I've done, or every week that I'm talking to a coach, it's just like, if I'm feeling bad about something, it's let's dig into it. Like, why am I feeling bad? Is it me? Is it something else? Is it within my control, without my control?
Yeah.
And learning a little bit more every week.
Well, in AA, one of their big principles is that when you bring a problem into the sunlight, then it loses its power. It's when we hold on to things that we're worried about, and we think we're the only ones dealing with it, which is silly, because we're all dealing with stuff.
Yes.
You really hit something to me when you said that you felt like you didn't know what to do next. I am there. And we talked about that yesterday. I said, I'm almost like a kid in a candy store, because I love life so much. It's like a buffet, and there's just so many things I want to do before I leave this planet. Where do I start? And like I said, I'm level 66 now, so I don't have as much time, So that is what's pushing me to do this. And when you told me you were going to that, I really wanted to go, but business and life and kids, it just wasn't the time. But I am putting this on my plate for this year.
Yes.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to get a coach, and and I think maybe my coach firing me or releasing me into the wild, it kind of gives me permission to know that it worked and that I need to do it again, and go a little deeper, a little further.
Absolutely. Yes.
One of the things that you said that your coach was to you, said it's like part therapist, part business coach, and just she was really able to tap into all those parts of you, right?
Yes. So the Tony Robbins trained coaches, they call themselves results coaches.
That's awesome.
Because it's the Tony Robbins events and all that, you can go through health stuff, there's relationship stuff, there's business, there's your psychology and mindset, there's goal setting. And so the results coaches, they're not trying to dig into your past and try to fix your past. It's more like, well, what do you want this week? Kind of what's your outcome, and trying to help you get there. Now, if you have to dig into your past a little bit in order to then move forward, so be it. But Otilia has been my marriage counselor. She's been my therapist. She's been my business coach. She's been my life coach. And she's been just everything to me. So that's why she keeps getting my money every year. And
that's amazing.
I mean, I tell myself, I'm spending thousands to unlock millions.
Absolutely.
I've been
Praise baby
saying that for
Jesus.
years, and it's getting better. I'm not quite millions, but
Yeah.
with the real estate investing that we've done, and stock market and all that other stuff, we've hit the $1 million net worth. So technically, I'm a millionaire. It doesn't feel
Way to
that
go,
way,
baby.
So
I love it.
I'm working on the second million.
That's awesome. And what is so cool about that is we were talking yesterday too about this, and I talk about it a lot, and I really believe in it. People talk about investing money, and the absolute person that you should invest in more than anything else is yourself.
100%.
Yourself.
Yep.
So I don't flinch at all when we talked about these things are very pricey. Now keep in mind, we're not selling this stuff. Dan
Right.
and I have no stake
I
in
wish I had a
selling you.
referral code to give everybody. I
Yes,
don't. This
we
is
don't.
pure joy of me.
We are sharing this because we believe in the power of digging inside yourself, letting other people do that with you. And I love that you're so vulnerable.
Mhm.
I love your vulnerability because without it, if you've heard Brene Brown,
Yes.
I mean, the power of vulnerability and becoming the person you need to be. When we're afraid to admit that, I told you yesterday, I don't really trust my friends that act like they have it all together, that act like know-it-alls,
Yeah.
because we don't know it all. I'm sorry. Until the day we die, we're not going to know it all. We'll get better. So what are some different things about you since you started your coaching? What is something that you really can say, wow, I used to do this, but now I do this?
Boy, I tell you what, the success is 80% psychology and 20% strategy. Now, having an engineering degree from college and having an MBA focused on finance, I did a lot of math and a lot of science. So there's a right way to do things, and there are answers that are clear cut. And so for a very, very, very long time, I really thought the strategy, the steps, the process, the machine that you build is what gets you success. And that's gone.
That's the engineer in you.
Yes, it was. Yeah. But now I am all in. If I'm not feeling great or something's not working right, I first turn to what's my mindset and how can I think differently. And that's when we start to read books. And I read way more books.
Me too.
Audio programs, podcasts, because I am looking for what's the mindset shift? What's the knowledge that I need to have that I don't have that will then help me go, oh, okay, well, now this is easy. Now I'm not afraid of doing something. Now I'm not, trepidatious about stuff. I have the courage to then take the steps, whatever the strategy might be.
Courage, I told you too, courage is my word this year.
Oh.
Be more courageous, because I tend to be a little bit of a people pleaser, and I think it stops me from taking steps towards things that I know that I want to do and need to do for my life. And at the end of the day, they always say that at the end of people's lives, that's one of the biggest regrets, is not doing something because you're worried about what somebody else is thinking, or I need to do what I'm put here to do. And that, if I do that, then I'm going to make life better for me, better for others.
Oh, yeah.
I know I do it with my podcast. I love my podcast. I love my Instagram. I love all that stuff. I have so much fun doing it. It feels very authentic to me. But I feel like I've got some blind spots that I need to work on. And you kind of shared that with me. One of the things, too, that I love that you mentioned, you said it makes your marriage better. I think so many people think that the only time you need to work on something, if it's not good, that's the silliest thing ever. Yeah. We don't have to wait till our elevator goes to the very bottom floor to get help.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I expressed to you that I was very fortunate. I had a very, very lovely marriage. We both worked on it. He worked on himself through AA. I worked through myself through Al-Anon and the other self-study programs that I do. And we had a really nice life together. And it can just get better and better. So that's Lucky for you and Allison.
And with that Date with Destiny, it's a 6-day event, and day 4 is relationship day.
That's awesome.
And I was also very much looking forward to that as well, because my marriage is like a 9 out of 10, and I'm like, well, how do I get to a 10 out of 10?
Heck yeah.
I don't know what that is or how it works, but I got the knowledge, and and I came back from my trip, and I'm like, all right, honey, it's like, here's some personality tests we can take. Here's what we can talk about. So I came back with a plan. So we're still working on it, but this event was just before the holidays, so like Christmas came up, New Year's, so we're still working on it, but then we're really never going to stop working on it.
No.
Even if we get to a 10 out of 10, it's then what are the habits to stay at a 10 out of 10? What date nights do we need to go on? What vacations should we take? How do we keep our intimacy up? However she defines it or I define it. How do we define it as a marriage?
You really have to pay attention to it and be intentional. And so I know that for me, I've been very fortunate in our business and Beachy Beach and stuff like that. But I want more. I mean, not that I don't want to do this, but I want to continue to impact and change lives. And I know that the only way I can do that is to become more empowered myself and to work on me.
Yes.
And that's the job.
Yep.
That is the job. And you know what? Now is a time for us to take a little sponsor break and talk about some of our sweet sponsors. So I'm really fortunate because I remember I told you, gosh, about a year ago, I said, I really need sponsors so I can keep this thing going because for 5 years, I paid for all of this. And that's not real sustainable, because you already know that I ain't real good on the money part, but I'm working on it. But, so speaking of money part, Brian Yormack, and he's actually coming in today to visit with me. He's with Bay Tax. Told you about him before. He's the one that did the cost segregation study in my building, saving me lots of money. And that gives me way more money to spend, like at my sponsors like Jute and Palm and Can't Hide Pretty and Amore Boutique. And I'm sure they love that. But I also had this other sponsor that just joined us this year called Shore House Furniture. They're super sweet. They are so delightful. I love them to pieces. They've got design teams. What I like about it is there's a place in town that it's called Rooms to Go, but it's really not Rooms to Go because you got to order it, So Lacey used to tease and said, that's Rooms to Order, not Rooms to Go. So if you go there, you can just buy the furniture and walk out the door with it. So I guess if you can fit it on your shoulders,
sure.
So they're pretty cool.
Well, that's why you're lifting weights.
Yeah, that's exactly. So I can lift the sofa above my head, So I'm really thankful for the people that are making this possible. And people are coming and believing in what I'm doing. And I have a funny feeling many of my sponsors are doing this because they believe in my message, not so much they're worried about how much business I can get them. So that really makes me so happy. American Home Shield Warranty is my first national sponsor. So I really thank them for their trust and belief in me. So I'm super excited about that. So, let's get back to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
During our little break there, Ashley, I think, really realized, my producer, that you really did walk on fire.
Oh, yeah.
So
hot coals.
I'm still, that just kind of freaks me out. Can you tell us a little bit about how that happens? You did say you do it the first night, which I would be nervous wreck, wondering about, oh my God. Yeah. So tell me about how the process was to walk on fire.
The full process, it starts inside the building when basically they teach you how to do it. They're like, you don't want to run and you don't want to go slowly. It's like, here's kind of the pace you want to walk out. And they teach you like, here's the whole process. And then they open the doors and they say, okay, let's get going. And everyone just starts chanting, yes. Yes. And it feels very cult-like, but everyone's in kind of like, and it's like, and it's weird because it's not real. But then you walk outside and you smell the smoke and you're like, oh, this is going to happen now. And then I was there with a buddy and it was me and then him and then a woman in front of us. And she didn't want to go. And so they're like, all right, well, we're going to put you a little bit farther in the back of the line.
Yeah, I'd probably be me.
And so then my buddy was ready to go. And he was in state. He's like, yeah. And they go, hold on. And they bring a wheelbarrow and they put on hot coals over the whole thing. And they're like, okay, now you can go. And then he does it. and then I do it. And I mean, you're in such a state of like,
Yeah.
I am going to walk through a
Yeah.
wall. I'm going to run
Yeah.
through a wall. And
Yeah.
so when you're in that state, you start walking. And when you get to the end, they actually have two people to catch you. So you don't just walk off into the darkness.
Yeah.
And so, and then they spray off your feet and they like, all right, you're ready to go. And then you're done. And it's just, for me, like I said before, I wanted to know that I had it in me to do it. And so now I know I have that state where, like, if I need to get shit done,
Yeah, you can do it.
I've got it. I don't live there every day. I don't interact in that every day, but I know if I need it, I've got it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where that courage comes from, is to say like, oh, well, maybe sending that email I didn't want to send ain't so bad.
Yeah,
Making
yeah,
that phone
exactly.
call I
Oh my
want to
gosh.
make ain't so bad.
Mhm.
And so that's, part of me why I wanted to do it was just to know that I could. That's really all it was.
Now, how long do you think you walk over the coals? How long does it last?
I'm trying to imagine because it's been a few years, but it's a good probably not quite 10 yards, maybe 5 to 8 yards. So it's a distance.
Yeah.
And you're going to, when I went to bed, it felt like there was a sunburn on the bottom
Yeah.
of my feet. There was that feeling of just like a really bad sunburn. But that was
Wow.
it. And
Wow.
that was it.
Wow. You're the first person I've met,
Yeah.
real life person that's actually done it.
Oh, wow.
And I've known you for a long time,
Mhm.
so I know you're not crazy. And I also know the fact that you're definitely not crazy because you're like in the DISC profile, you're like a strong
Yeah.
C and S.
Yes.
Stronger C than S? Or about the same?
They're about the same.
Yeah.
They're kind of even.
Yeah, see, I guessed it on you. You didn't even have to tell me. I knew what you were. And we also laughed about the fact that I don't normally get along really well with people that are like strong DSs because y'all so way too organized.
We're the engine nerds.
Yeah, you're the engine nerds. Y'all got a plan. Y'all don't
Yeah.
like to fly off script like me, the DI.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of fun to me. But I want to talk to you about a couple other things.
Okay.
We talked about mindset, and
Mhm.
that's so important to me. That's what this podcast is basically about: mind, body, and spirit. The whole thing. Oh,
Yeah.
before I go to that, I want to ask you one thing because I think I know the answer. But you said that you've changed a lot of things about you.
Mhm.
But are there's things that you're just because there's always something in us that we just can't. I've changed a lot of things in me, but I just got a few things I just can't quite get over the hump.
Yep.
Is there something that keeps on nagging you that you've not been able to accomplish
Yes.
so far,
Mm-hmm.
but this is helping you to move forward in it?
Yeah, 100%. It's my health,
Okay.
and food, and saying
Yeah.
no to food, and saying yes to better food. So this year, Date with Destiny, the event I just went to, was all about mastering the inner game.
Yes.
Because if you have mastered the inner game, you master the outer game. So I'm
Amen.
far better at mastering my emotions, which is great. And so now I actually just bought the ticket last night. I'm going to do the virtual event called Life Mastery, which is all about like energy. It's like, how do you get your energy up in the morning? How do you keep it during the day? How do you start to master that?
I could teach the energy class.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's it's so part of it's food. I'm sure part of it's going to be maybe meditation and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I kind of, now that I've fixed a lot of other things in my life, this is now rising to the top of like, okay, this is a top priority for me this year, because I just keep yo-yo dieting. I lose weight, and then Christmas comes and I just go all out, and I gained 10 pounds over the holidays. It's January again, trying to get back down again. And, probably by April, usually is when I, let go or get frustrated and start eating again. So yeah, that's the big thing for me, is how to do better with that.
Well, I finally had to get a coach to do better.
Mm-hmm.
I clearly did not do it on my own. I could not do it on my own. I had to get help. And that made the difference.
Yeah.
So talking about, I've got some other things I want to work on, like, increasing my podcast, my speaking, and this career that I've got going here.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I have talked very candidly about my lack of discipline with money. And and you said something to me yesterday. You said that perhaps a coach would help you figure that part out And it would make you more courageous to take that next step.
Yes. Yeah. And we've talked about it enough where I personally have seen the pattern where you keep saying, I'm bad with money. I'm bad with money.
Yeah.
I'm bad with money.
I'm better than I think I am, I guess.
Well, and I think, so at a certain point, it becomes, once you maybe fix that to say, well, actually, I'm great with money.
Yeah.
And I know with me and my wife, we are great with money. And in my life, what that means is I'm not too worried if like she loses her job again or our income reduces.
Yeah.
Like we work together so well. I just have the confidence we're going to figure it out.
Absolutely.
So I'm not worried about it. And so that decrease in income, but that confidence means I'm great with money. Now, I don't have that confidence when it comes to my food.
Yeah, see, we need to flip.
We need to trade.
We need to flip it. And, but like for me, I know that, and part of that's people pleasing too, wanting to buy things for people and always be the one that pays for everybody's dinner and always be the ones that's the giver. And it's great to be a giver, but you have to be intentional about it so you don't wake up one day and somebody needs to be given to you because you've been giving it all away.
Yes.
So that's where I have problems. It's not like I drive a fancy car. I don't live in a fancy house, anything like that. I just don't get as intentional as I do with the other things in my life.
Oh, sure. And boundaries are super important in anything.
Yeah.
And I've learned it, especially with my video editing, is, if a client emails me at Friday night at 8:00, I go, oh, that's nice. And I don't answer it until Monday because I'm trying to train them. I'm off for the weekend.
Yes.
Now, I didn't do that starting out.
Yeah.
But I learned that lesson. I'm like, I saw the email, but I purposely nope, I'm not doing anything. And if there's a negative consequence or something, then maybe we need to have a conversation or we need not to work together anymore.
Well, you're setting boundaries.
Yeah.
And see, and I will tell you who is horrible at setting boundaries. Every realtor in America. No, every realtor on the planet. We're horrible at boundaries. I mean, people call us at ridiculous times of the night wanting to discuss a contract, which could clearly wait till in the morning.
Yeah.
But, and
banks are closed.
Listen, I used to get up. Seriously, years ago, I would get a Zillow lead at 2 a.m. I would pop out of bed and email. Talking about no boundaries. I'm better now, and I don't really do that anymore. But one thing we also talked about that I think is very interesting, and I'm so embarrassed, I can't remember the guy's name, but when I find it, I'll put it in the show notes. I read a book, and it's called Millionaire Affirmations. And it's somebody, it's a guy where he teaches you to ask questions. Like for me, it would be, instead of saying, why I'm so bad with money, why am I so good with money? Why am I so intentional with my money? Why do I always know how to save my money? Why why am I so great in the gym? Why am I so good at picking the right foods to eat? Why am I so dedicated at my plan? I love that. Yeah. I love that.
Where your focus goes, energy flows.
Yes.
So if you're focusing on the solutions, you end up finding solutions.
And this is a perfect time to tell everybody that, Dan, I'm not through with you. So we are going to have to go to part 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm not done accessing your beautiful brain and spirit and mind. Okay?
Yeah.
So, y'all, I have loved talking with Dan about this stuff, but we've got more stuff. So you better stay tuned to part 2. Walked on Fire, the first episode, who knows what we may do the next one. So thank you so much for all of you who follow My Happy Ass Life. Thank you to my precious sponsors. Thank you, Buffalo Rock Pepsi. I love you. Be sweet, y'all.